Alrighty. So apparently I'm live. All right, let's see what we got here next. Copy that. Edit. Oh. There we go. Okay. Remove. Bye-bye. Hello, folks. If you're tuned in, if you're watching, yes, I'm doing a little bit of last-minute maintenance. My apologies. Let's see about getting this going. No. Oh. Nice. All right, let's see what we can get. There we go. On Instagram. Admittedly, with a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. So, if you're out there, if you're watching, thanks for tuning in. I'm Konrad, your host on Wednesday Night Reviews. This is a first ever live reading. So today, as we're headed into Christmas, Christmas is my. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So this is the first ever live reading for me. It's the first time I've done this, and I'm going to be reading Klaus. More specifically, I'm going to be reading Klaus, and I'm going to share that with you. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to unwrap my candy cane, stir my hot chocolate, and then we'll get going. Hello, Daniel Goodwin. Thanks for dropping in. I hope you enjoy. Feel free to pop in, pop out as the night suits you. I hope you're having a wonderful time being you, doing you, and yeah, being awesome. Let's get this going. Actually, I'm just going to back up that camera. There we think. Might be a bit better. Yeah. All right. Feel free, please, to comment away. I'm going to fire up Instagram just to make sure I'm doing this right. Haven't never done this before, and I'm a little scared. And I think we're good. Okay. Here we go. If you're tuning in from Instagram, I may not see your. Actually, let's see if I can correct that. Oh, that's my dog Potter. Let's see. Next. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Anyway, where was I? So we're going to read Klaus. So I'm going to have a bit of water. And let's get into it. So this is Klaus, How Santa Claus Began by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. If during this live stream I should get a cease and desist order or something, I will let you know. You may hear my dog barking on occasion. They're barky little dogs. They may walk in here, see one of their toys on the ground. Sometimes they hang out over my shoulder there. So they might make an appearance. But let's go. So this story came out a while back. God, I guess originally 2015, 2016, and I kind of fell in love with it. I'm a big fan of Santa. I Christmas not for Christianity, but for I guess the mythology, the folklore, all that kind of stuff. And so when this book came out, I jumped at it. Uh, let's see. Bear with me. I'm just going to flip, see if I can't get the resolution on this to be a bit better. There we go. And back to my stream. Cool. All right. Here we are. Once upon a time and a place, there was a man. These days, everyone knows his name, but few could tell you who he really is or how he got started. This is the greatest untold story of them all. Klaus, or Claus, we've always got Claus. How Santa Claus began. And we open up to a beautiful big shot of the city. Looks to be the medieval times. We've got some nice guards in armor, spears. We've got all sorts of posters around of a rather striking gentleman. And here we see, let's see if I can't. Let's do that. We see Klaus approaching the city, and the guards approach him. Well, what do you want? And he responds, I have skins and furs and meat. I usually trade up north, but Baron Bjorn's been securing his borders. The guards, let him in. Let's take a look at what he has to offer. And Klaus looking into the city. Grimsvik. Here we can see him coming over to a local pub. Beautiful shot of the city. Dan Mora's. This was my introduction to Dan Mora, and his work on this is incredible. We see Klaus as he enters this pub. One thing I have to ask barkeep, where are all the men? And this wonderful gentleman down here responds, the men are in the mines, working. What can I do for you, stranger? He responds, a drink's enough. It's been a long time since last I visited Grimsvik town. Didn't they used to stop work during the Yuletide festival? And this barkeep responds, coal's needed. Take it up with the Baron if you want. My advice, stop asking questions. And he responds with, I'll trade this pelt for a jar of yours then. How's that? And the barkeep responds, our best. It's the best we've got. Hardly worth the rabbit's ass. Oh, my apologies. For the children watching, don't swear, don't curse, it's coarse language. I mean, he might have also literally mentioned a rabbit's ass because he has pelts. What happened to old man Gunderson? He used to run this place. Said the wrong thing one too many times, understand? Best say nothing, I say. Klaus sips his beer. Too bad. Gunderson never watered down his ale. Food is scarce in Grimsvik. Ale is weak. As for strangers, as we can see, three rather distant guards looking. You'll find they're not welcome here. And Klaus turns and he gets up and he face the approaching guards. Then I'm done. I had good friends here once, and this is a happy town. I'm sorry to hear you've fallen on bad times. The guard responds, we've assessed wares outside. And as he goes outside, spears are shoved in his face. Everything within the wall is of Grimsvik. In Grimsvik is the Baron's property. You're not welcome here, wild man. We've heard wolves. Oh, my apologies. Read that wrong order. This panel first. He walks out. Hey, what's going on? Those are mine. Then they spear his face, basically. You wouldn't know anything about wolves, would you? or men who turn into wolves. Standing strong. I only know such things don't exist. Look, I don't want any trouble. And you, no playing in this. Oh, a guard turns to a child. And you, no playing in the streets, by order of the Baron. And the boy picks up what looks to be a rock, perhaps coal. What's in your hand? Is that some kind of toy? Klaus thinking, what? Leave the boy alone. It's only a stone. A stone's not a toy. And the guard responds, in the hands of a child, anything can become a toy. Keep your mouth shut, man. Oh, I have it done. I don't know if I can get them in frame. I think not. You might see. Well, I can just do this. So we have Potter behind on my right here, and Luna just kicking it behind me. Both Shelties. So, as we were, the guard approaches the child. Hand it over. All toys are the property of Master Charles for his sole fun and pleasure. Klaus responding, that's enough, soldier. If you want those furs, you can pay me. Oh, my apologies. He says, you can pay me for spears in the face. Well then, I'll trouble your hospitality no further. All I want to know is this. Who's in charge here that turned an honest town into a hornet's nest of thieves and liars? The guards respond, that's enough. On your way, you want to leave with your tongue intact. And in the back, we can see it is forbidden to wish on a big sign near the well. Like, who does that? So as Klaus takes his time, the little boy, sir, are you a wizard? Please, you have to help us. He responds, boy, what happened here? Where's your papa? Guard, I said, smacks the child, on your way, brat. To which Klaus responds, enough! You struck a child, you coward. And of course, he doesn't have that. Armed men, as the boy looks on stunned. And then Klaus proceeds to get mucked up, as the children say, by 5 guards, grunting through as the kid runs. From up on high, we see guards on the wall. What's going on down there, Harold? I don't like this brutal treatment of strangers, Vig. Then it's good. Then it's a good thing you don't run this town, Sergeant Lickfist. Lord Magnus, forgive me. Well, I'll try. You've let the men have their fun, Sergeant. It is Yule time after all. The time of fun. And as we see Klaus, now without smoke, hands seemingly tied behind his back, guards kicking him out of town. Run, run, you beggar, run. And they all seemingly have a chuckle. We're betting he won't even make it to the tree line. How much are you willing to wager, Carl? I won't bet on an innocent man's life. Come on. There's no such thing as an innocent man. And we can see Klaus trudging through the snow, and guards have pursued him. He must be here somewhere. There's footprints. He won't get far. And we can see Klaus now huddling behind some rocks, huffing and puffing, using the sharp edge of a stone to cut his bonds. Suddenly, he gets an arrow. Why would you do this? I've done nothing to you, man of Grimsby. From up on the wall. How far did he get? I can't see a thing. And the men immediately in front of him. Anything more to say before we put you down like the filthy dog you are, wild man? Eh? and standing as strong as he can. Only this, you fools. And he whistles a note, and suddenly a absolutely beautiful, gigantic wolf jumps in and starts going to town. Lily, that'll do. That'll do. Good girl, not rude. Oh, I've got a Potter beside me. And as we see, she comes to his aid. There was a time when Grimsby was bright with light and song. What happened here? I know, my dear. It's not our concern. But they took my clothes and furs. We need to eat fast, or we'll die in the cold. Another little sip. All right. And now we can see up on high in its castle. You're sure? You didn't hear it. A voice in the pit. I heard nothing, my lord. This is about your. He was very angry. He asked for you. Did he? Good. And we see this child trying to be and overlooking his city of toys, stomping on them. Useless. These toys are useless. Boring. Who made this rubbish? Why is nothing even good enough? Why? And his father, I ask myself the very same question over and over again, Jonas. You hope for so much, I know. Bring your complaints to your mother, the Lady Dagmar, who has demanded our presence for this evening's Yuletime dinner. I hate Yuletime. Why aren't there little people who do what I say? I want the people. Oh, brat. Let's see. Okay. All right. Up on our top page here again. It's no fun when there's no one else. As the Baron puts his hand on the child. But you hate other children, Jonas, and they carry disease. The people are starving, yet they toil in mind to give us their food because they love us and they want us to be happy and strong. Little people who do as you say can be a curse. You have to keep an eye on them all the time. You never know when they'll turn. Now, about your mother, my boy, she's not well, not normal. And we see they enter a beautiful, large lit room, a gigantic tree. Are you here? And she responds, Am I what? You heard about the wild man? He walks over, pats her head. Hairy, savage, he's dead now, or gone back to the woods and the ice where his kind belongs. And she, as her son kisses her hand, he sits down. A wild man sounds almost interesting, more interesting than my Yule present. His mother kicks back in. You need more strong men to work the mines, Magnus. Perhaps you should have kept him. He responds, Magnus, is that so? If I see him again, I'll have him shot and stuffed. Your son has something to tell you about how utterly disappointed he was by the first of his Yuletime gifts. Tell your mother how things will have to improve if Yule is to be anything more than a bitter anticlimax. Let rip, Jonas. Let's see if we can take Mommy's mind off the wild man for just one moment. And we flash back to what Klaus is currently hypothetically doing. Absolutely slaying a deer in the throes of anger and survival. And then we see the boy. This food is disgusting. My present was rubbish. Every Yuletime is a bigger disappointment than the last. We see the city, assumingly his toys burning. Craftsmen work all year to construct that model town. I'm sure they'd love to hear any suggestions you have for improvement, Jonas. You, here's the first day of Yuletime. Just the art of it, Mora. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I think some of my favorite stuff of Dan Mora's work, as per from this book anyway, is definitely the level of detailing you can see in the deer's face, and then just the amount of the background. It's gorgeous, and if you don't take time to enjoy it, it's gone. I love these books. Oh, and it seems Klaus has made a wonderful stew. This broth's not for you, he says to his wolf. This is healing magic, Lily. Stick with your bones. We're all bones in the end, he says, as he sits outside of a beautiful cabin with a lake view, mountains in the back, and a nice fireplace with um, bench seating for him. Ooh, that was these poor children still. And the wolf growls. It's not our concern. I know. I know. There's nothing we can do. Let's play a tune for the shining. And he starts to play as the wolf snorts and howls to join him. And we can see the music coming off of his instrument and off in the night sky. And here's the shining family. These absolutely beautiful, somewhat horrifying mystical creatures from the woods that just add so much flavor and life to what could otherwise be just a normal book. And I mean, it's Grant Morrison, so we're going to get a little psychedelic, I think. And Dan Mora beautifully illustrating this with an extreme splash of colors as we see this family coming to Klaus for music, for interest, or something. Though they indicate something to him, and he gets interested, and he gets up, and he makes his way to the woods, drawing his knife, and starts carving. And later in the morning, after a night of laboring, working, and having a what appears to be quite good sleep, the fire's out, the smoke is rising above the lake, and he gets a nice big lick to wake him up. He yawns. What a night! I almost missed daylight. All 5 minutes. Hi, Potter. And as we can see, what a dream that was. My hands are aching. Why are my hands? And what's that? That sound? He looks down, surrounded with toys. He's got alligators and mice and eggs. What looks like almost a kettle or a pot on the table. We've got a mouse. We've got a bear with some symbols. All sorts of toys. Lily, and we can see more. We can see bats, birds, butterflies, what looks like mechanical frogs. What did I do last night? He says as he walks off with his parade of figures. What am I supposed to do now? He says, overlooking a giant sack full of presents. And that is the end of issue 1 of 6, I think. With a beautiful cover here, no indication, and it happens to be sitting right there. So I'm going to take a quick chit chat. Feel free to add comments, do anything to chat with me. I'm going to have a little bit of that cocoa I mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's put that up because that's beautiful. me flip over to here real quick. Whoa, I'm so bright right now. I normally have on a filter. Wow, I am lost for words here. Why, hello, Leader Street. How are you? We just finished up issue 1 of Vol.1 of Klaus. You're welcome to hang around. I'm just taking a little break. Feel free to drop in any questions you like, but hope you're having a good winter so far. Hope the sales are going great. I know that you're streaming constantly and doing well there, so congratulations, sir. Oh, so great. Oh, well. Also, if you're looking for Christmassy gifts for anyone watching, whether you're watching that live with me now, thank you, or later, um, might I recommend absolutely hopping onto Kickstarter, searching up. Actually, you know what? I'll do this live while you're with me. Let's see what we can see, shall we? Present first here. Let's just get Kickstarter. Oh. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So what you're seeing here is my screen. Gonna go to Kickstarter, search, and comics. But like I said, if you want some sort of gift for someone, might I recommend absolutely go onto Kickstarter, Google Comics, and you will find a large variety of different comics, something for everybody. And the cool thing is kind of from all over the world. If you want local, which is typically what I'm doing, I'm supporting, I'm trying to interview local folks, help them get their books made. What I would absolutely recommend, go up, show me comics, all categories on. You could go onto your own, go Canada. So we have 1,514 projects in some capacity being funded right now. MS Warrior, A Visual Guide to Diagnosis and Coping. Fabulous looking book. It's got nearly $5,000 pledged, 77% funded. I bet you it wants probably 5,500. So it's got 6 days to make that, and it would be super cool. It's from West Toronto. The Mistakes #4, Flame Splasher, real creepy. He's 300% funded, so he's already happy to get in on it. Again, from Edmonton. The Genie's Thief. It's got 47 days to go from Barry. It's got $1 pledged. So if you're into genies, that's kind of cool. And yeah, it just kind of keeps going. And again, these are all, because I've searched it specifically, Canadian comics. There's 1,500 of them. There will be horror. There will be fantasy. Cauldron by Reed Chris, you will want to get in on. These guys are fantastic. They're all over, but their Raid Press is based in downtown. They have a cafe / art store / workspace. They produce good stuff. I have all their previous Cauldron magazines, which are like anthology style collections. Super cool. But yeah, absolutely. Oh, so-called living. Heck yeah. I got to meet this guy. I forget exactly, but I had them on. We had a nice little interview. So it looks like they are relaunching for issues 1 and 2, and they do have, as you can see, some adult-oriented covers, so you can always enjoy that. This is cool. Crazy latte thing called love. Notify me. Oh, I gotta log in. I will do that later. But yes, always there are things to be gifting, things to be enjoying. Um, please do. Also, hit up your local comic shops, much like Bleecker Street, who's in the chat with us. Um, he has so many cool things in store. Um, I haven't been there in a while, admittedly. He's based in Niagara. So if that is your area or you're willing to travel, go for it. I don't know, Bleak, what have you got? What's sort of big in stock right now if you're still here with us? Drop it in the chat. Let us know what's going on. This is also, that's an aside, Toronto Comics, these guys have put out a number of anthologies. I have them all, actually. And they are having another one come up in April. I may not be having them on the show to discuss it, which is super cool because I've wanted that for a long time. If nothing else, one of the creators, Bradshaw, is fantastic. He's willing to talk to me and tell me a little bit about the project, so I think that's super cool. Why, hello, Sierra. Welcome to the chat. I'm just taking a quick break. I'm going to be reading Klaus. Oh, I guess I should change how I'm showing this. I'm reading Klaus. I've just read the first issue, which basically introduces this savage, wild man, and he finishes after seeing some spirits. I don't know how well this is going to come through. Let's load for a second. He kind of wakes up after a night of psychedelic stuff, surrounded by toys that he secretly made. So, welcome, Sierra. Issue 2. Let's get rocking. Chapter 2. So, we can see terribly story night. I hope it's coming through well enough. Oh, reloading. It's a very good comic. It's one I've fallen in love with. Hence, I'm sharing. So long as I don't get a cease and desist order. So, we see this absolute blizzard going on in the city. Snow is starting to pile up, and we see 2 guards taking a bit of refuge against the wall with a bit of a fire going on in front of them. I know it's streets and all, but I miss Yule time. The lights and the colors, everybody singing, toys, and we can see them here discussing. It's only wolves that sing these notes. You can hear them out there past the wall. His friend responds, "Lucky we've got a wall. Built by hand craftsmen in the old days. Nothing gets past that kind of workmanship," as he palms together a little ball of snow, that is. And he chucks it onto the roof adjacent to them, and we can see it fly across land. And as it rolls, it grows, as snow always tends to. See, a wolf tastes human's blood. It just wants more and more. The hunger grows till it's all consuming. And his buddy responds, "You're a barrel of laughs, and make no mistake." And I suppose this guy's fallen too. And we see on panel, it's on screen, but it's a panel. On panel, the hook flies up, grabs the wall. There! See? That flash of light up on the battlements. Who's to say that what that might be? And we can see here, I can see it. I hope this translates across for you. We have Klaus scaling the wall with his giant sack of toys, struggling through the battlements. And back to our cards. I admit, I've been seeing things off and on. Since that day with the wild man and the white wolf, two of our lads dead. His guard, buddy. Wait a minute. There is someone. There's someone on the wall. And we see that snowball come back down. Sound the alarm, they say. And I'm going to give this a second because this is a really cool shot. As we can see, Klaus now rocketing down, having just jumped off the battlements, rope in hand. Hopefully, not going to hit the ground too hard. And as he lands down, his eyes covered with a cowl, just peeking out under the blackness, and he makes his way through the city. A couple of idiots buried in a snowfall at Nard. Now it's a ghost or a monster. Or I know what I saw. Scuttling in the shadows, some kind of horrible hunch on its back. These men looking for Klaus with his big sack of toys. Shadows, you say? Anybody there? Show yourself. Curfew. He says, nothing. You've been hoodwinked and are just an empty. As we see Klaus come up behind him, put the sack over his head. I swear I heard a cry. Guards come running. This is impossible. Nobody could get over on us. And they arrive. And again, I'm going to let this load because it looks so good. They arrive with one of their guards in a sack. And behind him is a poster of their, I believe the title is Baron. And normally it's a very sinister look. However, it's been drawn to look rather dorky. And I like that. And they start shouting, lock down the gates. He won't get away. And seemingly the next day, we hear from the city, Gunner, wake him up. One of the guards from a previous night looking less than nice. Huh? Hilder, what is this? I didn't hear the work. It didn't ring yet. Something's happened. You have to see. And he gets up and opens the door. I have to sleep. That Baron does his best to kill us down in the mines without you making it. And what he sees on the ground, on the carpet in front of him, Daddy, Mommy, look, toys. And he's got a bunch of his kids around. And now they have little knights, birds, butterflies, what looks like a horse. We've got a sword, an alligator on wheel, bat, all sorts of wonderful things. Let's see if I can't. Bear with me. It's going to get very, very bright. Okay, come back. That's a little. How's this? No. Yeah, it's a little better. Oh, get some music going. Just some light music. I always put this one on extremes. Alrighty. So hoping this loads up nice for y'all. We can see Mother runs over and snatches up what looks like a ballerina. Give that to me. You can't have these in the house. If anyone finds it, we'll all be in trouble. And the kid throws sort of a bird. But it flies, look! And it whips around the father. What? What is this? Don't let it get away. Don't let anyone else see. As it goes out the window. And we see a look into the city. And all over, people are opening their doors, looking outside, sounds, and they're noticing little sacks and toys at the doors. And we see two guards. Oh, quick, before the boss gets, as they're covering up the defaced poster. Don't get rid of it. It's a clue, you pair of morons. A lead, as he smacks them on the back of the head. It's practically a signature. Is this supposed to be funny? Why the rune for joy on the tin? One of the guards responded, it had to be an inside job. No one could scale the wall, and they'd have to be able to, as the little toy bird flies over and lands on his shoulder, to fly. The Magnus. And this, he grabs the bird. Explain this. And we get them looking over, and the entire courtyard of the city seems to be filled. There's children everywhere playing with little foxes, slinky dogs, birds, butterflies. There's one kid out here riding a dragon with a sword. The sickest thing ever. You know, I never really took the time to look at all these. We've got some mice, got a man with some symbols, a crank-up dog, lots of swords, building blocks, some sort of octopus-looking toy. Let's see. Konrad, don't breathe. Pretty cool. For those of you joining me on Instagram, if you're joining me on Instagram, I believe the stream will end itself in about 17 and a half minutes. I will, in 17 and a half minutes, take another break and wish you it. That being said, where were we? So, the Baron turns to the guard. Where did these things come from? How did they get here? Why didn't one single town guardsman see anything? And up on a balcony of the castle, we see the young Jones, the proverbial prince. I think he's a baron, technically, and his mother coming out. What's going on? You woke me, Jonas. And then the young boy, someone's having fun down there. It's not fair. Someone's having fun and I'm not. His mother, I'm sure your father will put a swift end to any fun anyone might be having here. If he can't make a profit on it, he gets suspicious. He's very strict about fun. And we can see here more guards as they start taking the toys from the children. You know the rules. One of the mothers comes up. What about our children, Lord Magnus? We always give toys at Yule time. Have mercy. And the Magnus, you can see him, his eyes coming up under the shadows of the cowl. Yule time. He spins on the woman. Yule time is canceled this year until the miners reach their quota, until the king himself arrives in 3 days' time for the feast. As for my son, well, the poor child's medical condition prohibits him from leaving the safety of the castle. Condemned to a solitary life, these toys, gratefully donated by the children of Grimsvig, are all he has. And he turns on the woman who is vicious. Only a cruel, greedy, and heartless harridan would deny happiness to a lonely little boy. If that's what you've become, shame on you, Widow Magnuson. And we can... Oh, my apologies. We can see that here. Quick sec. And we can see this huge cart with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably actually like 7 or 8 stacks being pulled by multiple horses as it heads towards the castle. And the young Jonas gripping the heck out of the railing over the window. Mine. All mine. And back in the city, we see the Baron. So, we have a malcontent in our midst. Someone who refuses to play by the rules of civilization. And we can see Klaus behind a wall observing. One of you must know who distributed these things across doorsteps in the poor quarter. Anyone? And a little girl, tiny little girl, speaks up, sir? And I'm not going to say it correctly. My apologies. It was the Yuletide, sir. The Yuletime spirit. And the Baron turns on her. There's no such thing. And he spins off. Take your men, son, fist. Leave no stone unturned. Geez, somehow the whole city gets a bunch of toys, and no one's cool with it. Bunch of meanies. If you're just joining us, I am issue 2 of Klaus by Grant Morrison and Mora. Hope you enjoy. So we can see the large, gigantic castle overlooking this town. It's already getting dark again. Where's my father? His mother responds in this dark room. Your father is busy defending the walls of his little world from imaginary enemies. The boy looking at all these toys. He told me they would fly and dance. Father lied and he smashed them. All you ever did was lie to me about everything. All of you. Why won't they work? As he continues to break things. And the mother bends down and looks at one of the birds. Mother, well, it's not fair. Why won't they fly for me? What's wrong with me? As she picks up this beautiful toy. And he turns again, stomping on one of the alligators. What's wrong with me, stupid toys? And after having looked at one of the birds, she takes off to her room, closes her door, and we see her go and reach into a closet and into a small box. She opens it up, and she's got a nearly identical bird. Klaus. A little later that night, on top of a wall, typically of the castle perhaps, at the battlements, a voice, so they say, roaring his name from inside the coalface, and I heard he's making them dig towards it. Ask me the whole town's cursed or haunted. The guards mention among themselves. Another guard coming towards their leader. Ghosts? Are you soldiers or fishwives? Enough with all the tall tales. This wall won't patrol itself. We found his rope. He won't get out the way he came in. And a rather extremely large gentleman. No one can hide from Olaf. Olaf will find the man. Olaf will eat him alive. And the rather concerned guard from earlier. Olaf is me, obviously, the large man says. So that's Olaf. He seems perfectly not friendly. And their leader, let's stop short of cannibalism if we can. Just do your job, Olaf. This should be enough. And he walks off down the stairs, muttering to himself, ghosts. And all of a sudden, we see one of the guards get taken. Olaf whips his head around. Who said? And he gets a crack in the face. Ghost? Olaf being faced with Klaus. And he uppercuts Klaus, sending him flying. You're no ghost, but soon you will be. You walk straight into the trap. And Klaus's arm, we can see, is bound. Then his leg, as he's pulled to the ground, snow falling on him. Or rather, apologies, Klaus's arm was bounded. Olaf's leg is bound when Klaus pulls this rope and sends him into a pile. And Klaus is very happy about self-stroking his beard. The guards and the Baron come back. It's Olaf. One of our finest men, Olaf the Unbeatable. Olaf. Never heard of him, says the Baron. Olaf Melodian. He says from inside of a snowman, his legs sticking out of the arms. The Baron yelled, "Get that fool out of there!" He dropped his sack. He left his scent. Bring the dogs. And we see what I am sure normally during the day is some lovely dogs who are absolutely ready to murder somebody. And the Baron, of course, looking even more murderous. Ghosts don't need calling cards, Yule-time spirit. This is a man of meat and bone and blood. He waves the sack in front of the dogs. Find him. Bring him to me in bite-sized pieces. Look at that face. Quick sip of hot chocolate. So we can see Klaus running towards the door of the main gate. He is obviously not shocked that it's closed. He looks up, sees the battle, and his rope is gone. And he turns back looking into the city, and we can see the dogs, the guards, everyone run him down. And he says, "And a merry Yuletime to you too." And that concludes issue 2. And the beautiful cover for issue 3. Love this one. One thing I have to say I enjoy about the covers is if you really attend to it, the art style in Dan Mora's covers, when he has some covers, is different than the interiors. I find he actually does slightly less detail. So muscles are smoother, faces are not blank but less detailed, they're less sculpted. And generally, things have more pronounced shapes, such as the shape of the helmet down here in the shadow. While it is very detailed, the woodwork in the roof there, the overhang, it's not as detailed as it might be seen in an issue. And it makes the cover more approachable. And when you get into the more densely visually detailed comic, it's like a good gateway. I can't speak well enough about him. I love the guy. I think his work is fantastic. If you're into Power Rangers and you haven't read his stuff yet, go get all the Power Ranger books that Dan Mora works on. I mean, go get them all. You know. All right. So, we're about to start issue 4, chapter 3. Halfway done, which is pretty cool. I'm going to quickly do some maintenance for Instagram, so bear with me. Refresh. And again, you're welcome to drop questions in chat, all that good stuff. Because I need to get this going. Next, copy this. Go into StreamYard. Remove. Goodbye. Add it back. Cool. And there we are. I am probably going to get double audio. I hate that. Okay, whatever. So yes, here we are. If you're tuning in on Instagram, this is Konrad, your host of reviews. We are reading Klaus. I've read the first 2 issues already. Coming in now, we're on issue 3 or chapter 3. Written by Grant Morrison, drawn by the amazing Dan Mora, and published by Comics. I absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. And yeah, we're gonna go read that now. Have a quick sip of water. And we'll get moving. You are welcome. Drop questions in chat. I will bounce between both Instagram and the words. Instagram and YouTube. Wow. So yeah, you're more than welcome. All right, here we go. All right, chapter 3, again, of Klaus by Grant Morrison and Mora. Here we go. So, as we left off, Klaus is in the city. He's dropped off presents for all the kids, and the guards basically found his rope that he used to ascend over the walls. They found his sack, which he'd carried to bring the toys. So the dogs are hunting him. The guards are hunting him. And he is in a not great situation. So here we go. So as we can see, Klaus on the run, leaps over like a barrel and a guard, planting his hand on the guard, pushing him down, kicking his friend, and we see him take off. The guards are recovering, and the dogs are coming. And Klaus runs and runs and runs, finds himself in a dead end. No way out, as he turns and faces what looks to be 6 hungry, angry, not nice dogs. Savage hounds. What's the last thing you'd expect? And they all start sort of staring at him weird as his wolf appears. And they all bow their heads, they duck, they shy away. And his wolf walks right up. Lily, what did I tell you, beast? Stay outside the town walls. And he gives it a hug and a pat as it nuzzles in. My beautiful wolf girl, I didn't know how you wriggled through the wall, but I need you to go back now. As we see the dogs take off, soldiers are coming, Klaus says. They'll hurt you. You have to go. I'll find my way out. Go, Lily, go. He sends a hawk. And we see the soldiers appear with all the dogs in some state of running away. What's wrong with these whimpering brutes? Look at them, another guard. I've seen this kind of thing before. I'll wager it's a wolf squeezed through the wall. Big one, too. They turn and look at each other. They said a man. Hunting a wolf? Not in my job. The other guard. Al, it is. Read the small print. Tell me, what else could scare off a troop of war dogs? A wolf man or a ghost? Or there's nothing in the small print about ghosts, is there? I'm just saying, if it was just a man, where is he now? As they look through, and he's seemingly gone from his court and a blank. And as we can see, from on high on top of the roof, Klaus is looking over at them as they're talking. We can hear them say, Sergeant Lindquist, we lost him. It seems we're dealing with a wolfster, possibly a wolf man, or a ghost. And the sergeant, a wolf, a vanishing wolf, a ghost wolf, no less. And Klaus looks down, a little happy with himself, I have to say. A ghost wolf who leaves intricately carved toys on the doorsteps of Grimsvik's poorest families. Well, whoever this impossible character is, he won't get away with that. Keep an eye on every door. Let our invisible beast man find some other way to deliver his magical toys, if we can. And we see this absolutely stunning shot of the city as the sun comes up over the mountains. And Klaus hums to himself as he sees all the different buildings and all these notes start coming up through the air. And we can see a little girl, little redheaded girl at that. I wish, I wish, I wish, as she sends it up the chimney, and the heat from the flames taking the chimney. I wonder if that would work. And probably paper lanterns work after all. And I don't know if it's coming through well, but on our top left panel here, we can see what looks like a small something burning, paper or smoke. Then we see a pickaxe and more pickaxes, and men slamming the pickaxes into the walls, and another man who looks emaciated. You can see every rib, every muscle, and it's not like a I'm ripped into it kind of way, you know. He says, no one needs as much coal. We can't take anymore. As those around him continue working. The voice, the terrible voice, and he looks up. He looks absolutely taken over, his eyes staring into nothing practically, calling his name over and over. I can't do this. And outside, we see above the line lines of men, pickaxes, and coming up to the elevator. On the next page, on top of perhaps the castle or a nearby cabin, we see two guards in the Magnus, the Baron. There's something in the air that rests. I can feel it. We see two children and their mother by a fireplace. Mama, look! We're sending wishes up the chimney into the sky for the Yule Neeks, Santa. Everyone's doing it. Mother, is that so? They fly up to the northern lights where the Santa lives. As the father comes home, the mother, go to bed, children. Finn, tell your brother and sister. And her eldest, Jan and Elinda, are posting wishes to the Santa. The wife, Gunnar, you must be hungry. Make a wish, Dad, the children say to him. And he looks absolutely gone. His eyes are bloodshot and just. And we see a fist grab one of these wishes. My apologies, folks. There we go. You see the Jonas mother, the Baroness. I wish. And the Baron comes out. Talking to yourself again? They say it's the first sign of madness. The Baron says, skulking out behind some curtains. She turns. Perhaps I picked it up from you. He responds. Except when I do it, I'm not talking to myself. What's in your hand? And he snatches it from her hand. It's nothing. I found it lying in a heap of broken toys. What do you want, Magnus? May I have a look closer, he says, holding the bird. He moves one of its wings and its head, plays with it. Ingenious. Could easily be used to deliver poison. These gifts aren't toys, they're weapons. The woman, don't be ridiculous. Someone played a prank. Give it back, Magnus. And he hunches over, looks at her. Curious how the wood is worn, stained by age, not like others. A prank. These things are a symbol of revolt. Whose side are you on? Because in the end, he said, the bird in his fist, only one side can win, and he walks off. We see him with two guards. Madness, he says. It's getting worse every day. Bad news from the mines of the north, the guard says, as the woman crumples to the floor, sad that the bird was destroyed. We can see the next panel up here. Beautiful snowy fields of flowers, and then Klaus leaning in front of the flowers, picking them. Ah, Lily, it was a start, but I need a way to deliver the toys next time. As he makes another stew, and we can see him, his magical stew, applying those muscles. I know what you're thinking. I almost didn't get out of there. I was happy out on the ice, right? No responsibilities, no ties, no retirements. Or their wives, he says to himself, as Lily curls up beside him. You can see all the spirit things earlier, as they all come in from the wood, the colors of the wood changing. If I must do this, let it be done the right way. If this is what the spirits of the ice forests want, show me the next step in your dance. And he begins to play, and Lily just looks up as she sees what comes from him, in absolute shock as the music carries on in the chorus. I'll let that look a bit, see if I can see it. I love the choice of colors of this book. Back in the city, we see Magnus walking down these gothic epic cathedral style halls. As he approaches the door, he says to his guards, "Leave me," and he enters this massive library, the kind that Belle of Beauty and the Beast would only dream of. As we can see these extremely intricate ceilings in this double-story library. Well, now, he says as he picks up a book, you and I once more. Looking back in the mines, we can see guards and again, men upon men working. Not another one, a guard says, rushes over to a man. I won't do it anymore, he says. Whatever this is, it's evil. Evil! And we hear a whistle call out. Stand down. Hear the coal face. Baron's here. And as he reaches the bottom of the elevator, wait for me, he says to his guard. And he walks himself into the coal mine. He goes into a deep, dark part of this mine. And there's nothing but one single light burning. I'm here. And he opens the book and exposes it. I've done everything you've asked. I've remade Grimm's Fate to the exact specifications of the town without cheer. You're already working the men to death to your demands. Yes, we're a little behind schedule, but time is manpower. The longer I stand here waiting, the longer you remain imprisoned. And suddenly, a crash from something in front of him blows heat and warmth and air in his face. What? He responds. They're already on the verge of rebellion. They'll rip me apart if I even suggest that. The Santa is being taken care of. It speaks to him in some language. Give me the strength I need, and you'll see. And he slams the book shut. Just don't ever forget who's in charge here, and try to keep it quiet. These men are superstitious fools. And the thing, whatever it was that he was talking to, laughs. All right. And we can see a view of the city from the crow's eye. Absolutely stunning cathedral with a church or a Christmas tree on a pedestal in front of it. We hear from inside. Yuletime may be cold and dreary this year, and the carols so much silent. Our days and nights may be pitch dark and fearful and all a clamor with witches, wild wolfmen, and stained red pagan devils. Such is our Lord Baron's will, and we must be grateful. Grateful that here, in our hearts, we can still celebrate the birth of salvation. Here, fire brighter than flame, here burns love undying. and a woman in the crowd. Official love undying, warmer than our kitchen at mealtime. And the priest, I think, a furnace within our steel is tempered and hard work by hard work and selfless devotion. For bleak midwinter the gloom must also pass. Beyond the light, the longest night, his lights return, and some sound gets their attention. Even the priest, as the bells ring. Remain in your seats, he calls. That's not supposed to be happening. No rejoicing in public, he says, as everyone runs out of the church. And they see the symbol, a large P-like symbol, for joy. From up on high, we can see on top of the steeple of the church, Klaus hanging a rope around the ornament. Joy rune, someone says. What's it mean? Shh, the Baron. Does he ever sleep? As we can see a glimpse of the city, all the people gathered. The Baron comes. Church bells ring out, work shifts only. I give strict orders. No bells, no lights, no toys. And we can see Klaus sling himself across the rope attached from the steeple. This man, this Santa, we the Baron. The bars of his cage are closing around him as he slides towards the castle. The final panel we see on this page is Jonas' mother, the Baroness of the city, in her room. Bursting through a window, Klaus lands. Superhero landing right up here. And he leans back, checking into the courtyard, cops rushing everywhere, and a large tree in the castle, Baron. And he calls out, "Remember me? I cut live wood from your branches once, dead tree. I made a symbol." And from his pouch, he takes out an axe. And the mother picks up the pieces of the bird in her hand. And Klaus swings his axe into the tree. We go back to the Baron. No decorating of trees, no Yule logs, no ghosts, no Yuletime spirits. One of you did this. If your Santa exists, let the man show himself. No. And the guard, Lord, he points. And Jonas' mother looks on as a fire blazes as this tree falls to the ground. And as everyone sees, the final panel here on the page, we can see the tree coming down. Now this. With this tree burning, Magnus looks on. This is war. And Klaus bursts through a window. Hello, Dagmar. How long has it been? And that's the cover for that particular issue. I love it. We got a quick break. Let's just have a look showing. Oh, not at all. All right. So, issue 4, chapter 4, if you will. Once upon a time, and we see what looks to be a woman in all white, her hair frozen, bleeding from her shoulder in the middle of a tundra. Two men look on. She's dead, frozen. So what's that sound? One of them approaches. Impossible. Carl, it's a baby. It's alive. And what looked like blood was this child's wrapping as it takes the baby from her. And now we see A large sleigh pulled by 3 reindeer headed towards this city, presumably the same city, Geltwig. And in the courtyard, you see 2 men coming through, calling for women. Some of the servants are perhaps maids, and they rush over. He, sh- he should have been dead like his poor mother, says as these women take the child to care for him. And the oldest man, woman, go on to these beautiful lights from Earth, awesome decorated Christmas tree. But there was music on the wind, and there were lights and voices. He was spared for a reason, Sigrid, for some purpose we can't foresee. And sometime later, as the years passed, the story grew that the child was saved out of the ice by the warmth of his heart, and they called him Klaus, or Klaus. And we can see a black-haired boy in red running with what appears to be some friends, which means a victory of the people as he's carving something. And we see what looks to be a king. He's got red hair and a red beard, not unlike myself, you know. And we see a young red-headed woman, probably his wife. And Klaus looks on at him as he's carving all sorts of birds in wood. And the young girl gets down on her knees. She's putting a box on the ground. And she says, "I'll miss you so much, birdie." So she's burying her pet bird. And Klaus, holding a piece of wood in his neck, is just shocked. And she buries him and walks on. And Klaus, we see him overlooking this. And then a wooden bird swings by this girl's head, singing, and lands in her hand. And she looks up to see the young boy, and he waves at her. And then we see in the next panel, he's a little bit bigger, and so is she. And it looks like she's making some sort of drawing, and Klaus is falling. And in the winter, we see them together. And we see a young, black-haired man. There he is. I do anything to make her love me, he says. Anything. Back to the present. Klaus, having just burst through the window, the red-haired woman, turns on him. "If I pull this cord, soldiers will come. You'll be dead in 5 minutes. So tell me exactly what you're doing here, and talk fast." Klaus responds, "I suppose I wanted to see if it was true." She bites back. "If what was true? Stay right where you are." Sternly he looks at her. That the Lady Dagmar of Grimsvig had grown cold and cruel, that she'd lost touch with the people she once loved. And she turns on him. "Well, now you see her, what do you think?" And he looks on sternly. "I think if it's true that you'll pull that cord, but I don't see cruelty in your eyes. Sadness." A little shop opens up. My husband thinks you've come to take everything from us. You're here to start a revolt. You're an assassin." He responds, "I'm here to bring gifts to children and joy to a dark town in a dark season. That's all. People are starving and dying. Dagmar, the people you love, and who loved you." Pointing a finger at him. "You will address me as my lady, and no one's loved me for a very long time. Anyway, who do you think you are to talk to me like this?" Putting his hand up. "A friend, that's all." "What kind of friend hides in the shadows? Show yourself," she shouts. "I'm a Yuletide spirit, a man of mystery. I rely on the shadows for a lot of effect. The gifts I keep about," and he hands something over to her. "I made this one for you, to replace something you lost. It's a little pink bird." "No, it can't be this, but I knew." He pulls down his cowl, Dagmar, it's me. It's Klaus. I came back. I had to see you again. She questions Klaus, but you killed my father, and she slaps him across the face. That year, the wolves were fierce on the outskirts of the town, and we flash back to the past, and we see a man, a younger man, but a man, dressed in all red, long black hair. But fiercer yet by far was Klaus, young captain of the Grimswood Guard, handpicked by the Baron already. Still, hunters all became themselves the victims of the hunt someday. And we see the Baron, looking old, his beard thicker, his hair perhaps going a little blonde, so confused, so old, so sick. Young Magnus, holding up a wine glass. Don't forget to drink your medicine, my Lord Ulrich. I fear this may be the only thing that's kept you alive since the passing of your beloved wife. As ever, the condition of your health is foremost on my list of priorities. And he hands over a drink, and the Lord drinks it, and we see the drink drop to the ground. We see on the next page a pit with 3 wolves in it. They're all in the trap now. Finish them, Captain Klaus. And we see Klaus draw his sword. I'm sure it's something. You can't hide from all as he walks through the forest. We see him overlooking a bush, and in it is a little pup looking at him, concerned, unsure. And he looks down on the pup, and we hear the soldiers call, Captain? And he comes back. It's fine. I was mistaken. No sign of life as he bends down, feeds the pup. Oh, we have a guest. Hello, Potter. How are you? You cannot see him, but he is beside me, and he is getting pets. That's a good point. Back in the castle in present time, we see Klaus and the lady. We get back what we give the lady. Baron Aldrich, your father, stared me in the ice. If I had any part in his death, could I look you in the eye now and tell you I'm innocent? And she responds, Magnus had proof. It wasn't you. And we see back into the past. Seize the traitor. He murdered the Baron and plotted to take his place. Back to the present. Would I even put myself in danger by coming back like this? Living alone and while I was safe. But I saw what was happening to people. Grimsby gave me life. I can't let it die. She responds, if you didn't do it, Klaus, why didn't you put up a fight? And I'm back into the past. Toxic roots, venomous herbs, the tools of the poisoner's trade. Take our over-ambitious young captain away and execute him. And we can see the younger lady running up to him. He loved you like a son. You are my friend. How could you do this? And in the present, we see, why did I run away and never return? Because you chose me. You chose him over me. And she responds, they told me you're dead. They said wolves. I should have known. And we can see Klaus being led off blizzarding wild. Nothing but pants and boots on. Perhaps a strap for a bottle of drink. And he looks on, and from behind him we can see the guards telling him to leave. Get out of here. Leave him to his fate. And overlooking him, we see a large wolf with a shadow. We can see the wolf approaches, and he shouts, come on then, finish me. He gets on his knees. I have nothing left to live. Collapses. And the wolf comes over and sniffs him, licks him, and lays on the snow, keeping him warm. Back in the present, we see Klaus and the lady Magnus will kill you. His soldiers will hunt you down. You're only one man, and Klaus responds. The spirit of ice and forests watch over me. I don't die that easy. You know me. And he holds out another toy. And I have a plan. You used to like making plans. You used to dream about how we'd make Grimsvik a better place. Maybe it's time to start. This is your son. This is for your son. There you'll tell lady. And he hands over some sort of figure. I don't know what it is. She says, it's all right. You don't have to call me milady. You can call me. And she turns her back. And he's gone. And we see back below in the depths of the castle. Let's see if I can get this full load for you. On the left here, we can see, so where's magic? Shouts the young Jonas. It looks like takes a pickaxe, smashes the toys. A door swings open. Jonas, useless like all the rest, he says, holding the horse head, throwing it aside. And he looks over at her. She comes, Mother, what are you doing here? I don't believe these pathetic toys were ever alive. And she says, try this one. I have something for you. Today's Yuletime gift. He hands it over to him and she sits down with him. We're surrounded by Yuletime gifts. So what's different about Mother? You look strange, he says as he takes her in. There's one last toy, Jonas. The one especially for you. She hands it over. Is it a bug or a man? Or what's it supposed to be? He says as he takes it in. She responds, I don't know. It's such an odd little thing. I suppose it could be anything. It could be a scarecrow who just climbed off his pole, and now he's free to do as he pleases. What does he do next? And the young man says, oh, I get it. And he shouts. Suddenly a terrible giant captures him and lifts him high into the sky, higher than he's ever been before. Please, Mr. Giant, I'm just an ugly, pointless little bug man. Thing, don't hurt me. I'll enjoy teaching you a lesson. The giant roars and smashes the stupid scarecrow down all the way from the side of the ground and stamps on him until nothing's left but splinters, says the young child, who clearly doesn't know how to play with tools. And the mother says, well, I suppose that could happen, but then the story's over and you'll be bored again. And therapy. We look back and we see the boy. So what do you think happens next? Mother, are we playing or something? And she says, if you like. And she looks up her bird that she got. So what if a giant bird appears? Maybe it just looks like a bird, but really. And the young man says, it's a ferocious dragon. And she says, the dragon's tired of life on a cold, lonely mountaintop. She's tired of breathing fire on everyone and being hated. So off she goes looking for a friend to share on an adventure. And the boy says, Mother, this doesn't make any sense. Why would the dragon bird and the scarecrow be friends? She responds, I don't know yet. Maybe they both have special gifts that don't amount to much on their own. But put together, maybe they can fight monsters. Mother, look, it's like magic. It's as if the toys are coming to you. And we hear a loud whack from the other side of the ring. There. And we see Magnus standing in the doorway, the double-sided doors he swung open. A suspiciously generous revolutionary prowls at night at will. Madness and revolt spread like disease. There are literally holes in the door, and the king arrives in 2 days' time. We all have serious work to do, he says, growling through his shadowy cowl. I have a plan, a grown-up plan, and I expect you to play a grown-up part in it, Jonas. Jonas and his mother look on. Put the toys away, Magnus says. It's time we made a man. Quick sip. All right. Whoop. Oh, be nice to me. There we go. So top left panel, we can see more of the miners who look emaciated, scarred, and very not happy. We're all men of Grimsby. All we ask is one day's leave to celebrate Yule time with our wives and children. Do we work or do we fight? And the guards respond, either way you die. There's only one punishment for insurrection, as they beat on one of the men. I'll give the order if you won't, Sergeant. As you see this man say as the sergeant looks on sternly. Baron's instructions. Make a few examples, he said. You see weapons rise up and come down, blood spill. And the sergeant looks on in dismay, just defeated. As we see all these guards bloodied on the ground. They say, I think we got the ringleaders. See now, that's what happens to malcontents. Any more with the rebels? One of the guards shouts, well, don't just stand there. There's a quota to fill. Ignore the voice and get back to work. And we see them working and chipping away the coal again. And from the coal, we can hear free me. The sergeant, looking absolutely horrified, hears, free me. Back in the city, we can see a figure walking, muttering to himself, upset. He barges into a local establishment, perhaps a pub. When he opens the door, he's confused. It's you, isn't it? The ghost wolf, the Santa. He sees a figure sitting at the fire. How did you get in here? The Santa responds, I came down the chimney. Something tells me your heart's not in your job, Carl. Put away your sword and listen to me. We can see Klaus standing to the fire. Carl from the doorway responds, how do you know my name? Who are you? Klaus responds, Sergeant Carl Lindqvist, Grimsby Army veteran, going back 33 years? You must have lived through a few changes. What happened here, Carl? Carl defeated, his shoulders slumped and blade going loose in his hand. After Ulrich died, the shadow seemed to fall on Grimsby. Magnus grew stronger and stronger and more tyrannical. I held my tongue, deceived myself. I could change things from inside. Looking defeated more, the man continues, only to discover I'd become part of it. Now we all live and die to serve Lord Magnus and his insane schemes. No one dares to fight. Putting a hand over his heart. You don't think I'm ashamed? This uniform, these colors, the red and white, they used to mean something. We will again, Carl. I'm throwing a uniform party and everyone's invited, says Klaus. We see a great glimpse of the castle from far off. It has to be written in a child's hand, Magnus says, his hands on Jonas's shoulders. That's it, my boy. Let's begin. Here's the lady comes up. What's going on? What are you doing? Magnus responds, well, what does it look like? We're making a very special wish, my dear. Now we can see the cover for issue 4. Okay. Like 20 more minutes or so. Chapter 5. Another quick swing. Here we go. Alrighty. We're inside the library now. And we've got Jonas and his mother, the lady, Grimsby. She asks, he showed you the face of the monster in which book? And what else? What else did your father have you do, Jonas? Now we can see the side of the mind. No. Young Jonas. We made up a story to trick Santa, the Yuletime spirit. And Magnus, we see him hands on the wall where this creature is. His head's okay. And yes, I, I'll do as you say. Not much longer now. Give me my tooth. Now we see back in the library. His mother says, "Show me this book." And where has your father been since? And we can see Jonas looking down as a voice comes from off him. What's the game this time? And we see Magnus from somewhere with an extremely large sword. Murder in the dark. Leave us, Jonas. Your mother and I have adult matters to discuss. You can see Jonas run off. The lady of the city. Where have you been? We need to talk about Jonas. You've never been able to lift that sword, don't? And Magnus says, no. We need to talk about life and death. The king and his men, as he lifts the blade. Come here. Not to honor me, to kill me. And we can see Jonas run to two guards. Go, choose. This is very private. And we can hear from inside, what is this? Who told you this? And we can see Magnus holding this giant blade. The voice, of course, the voice in the Black Rock. I've been preparing for its arrival, and in return, it gives me strength. And we can see Jonas huddled towards the door, listening. But it must be released from its prison at midwinter, 2 days from now, or nothing will save me from the king and his assassins. They'll kill us! And we can see him continue on, dropping the blade. On top of it all, this wild creature, this Santa, this monster eats piece by piece of authority, knowing that any delay to this work in the mines means literal death for our family. And oh, Dagmar, you were always clever. You had so many good ideas. Think of something. Dagmar, you have to get me out of this, he says, whimpering to her now. And we can see over the city. Snow has fallen, the moon washing over everything. A figure huddled beside a chimney, a large sack of toys. As Klaus reaches, grabbing a wrapped bundle and dropping it down the chimney. And we can see him running across a rooftop, and we can hear some of the guards in, out. How does he do it? From the street, we see, you're looking up here on the right. You ask me, this whole ghost wolf Santa thing, it's just a tall story for kids. We've got eyes on every door, highly trained professionals who don't miss a trick. So where is he? And we can see him jump across the gap in the roof. Still, it's exciting all the same. I wish he'd leave something for my boy. I won't let up about you'll time this, you'll time that. His friend, the other guard, that's traitor talk, brother. Just remember, the Baron hears every whisper, sees every passing shadow. Nothing goes down that he doesn't have his hand in somewhere. So we have a pair. And we see Klaus dropping more presents, and very almost eerily, as though he could see you when you're sleeping. He looks through his list and he reads, "Dear Santa, I hope my very special wish will find you." And from inside the castle, it looks like we can see a guard, or perhaps on way. We see a guard say, "The night shift's getting jumpy down. The night shifts getting jumpy down at the coal face again. We're looking for more lads nowadays. Stout sticks. I am for taking another crack at the turncoats myself." And we can see a figure in the shadows on the street. I was expecting Sergeant Lindqvist. He had orders to meet me here. The other guard. Never you mind about old Carl. I've had promotion, and I'm in charge now. And we can hear him continue. Oh, didn't see you was on Elite Guard, sir. An Elite Guard, sir. I hope you've brought warmer gloves for the watch. But shouldn't you be looking out for the Baron? And we can see Klaus curl his hand. Personal delivery for you type gift. And he socks the guard across the face. One warm glove. Great line. Love it. Back in the coal mine, we can see two miners. Story goes, the ghost of the young captain come back to give the Baron his lumps. Before your time, He'd return in Grimsby's hour of need, and if that's not now, and we hear another guard. Wasn't what happened yesterday enough? Gossiping's not work. I'll show you honest, you lazy good for nothing. And the guard was about to strike these men, and suddenly struck. Someone had to tell him. The miners turned and looked to see none other than Klaus, snow in his beard, wearing the elite guard armor. Only one man has to work in time, and that's me. He sets a large sack up. There are gifts waiting for children. Tell them the Santa wears the red and white of Grim's, white for the snow of our homeland, red for the blood of the working people who built this town. Your colors. One of the guards sees him. We'll see the color of our blood soon. One of the miners having grabbed a shovel up. No, you don't. He clocks him over the head. See what you made me do? What are you? You don't look like a ghost. And Klaus raising a mystically lit torch. They like to say there's no smoke without fire. I'd say sometimes there is. But don't tell your bosses this is only for show. Go home to your families and celebrate the return of light in the darkness, the way it's meant to be. We can see the miners gathering around, onward. Wait, whoever you are, you could lead us. All of these men are ready to follow you. Klaus turned. Do I look like a leader? All I do is bring toys for children to make them forgotten. This gift is yours to take it. Oh, this gift is yours, so take it. And the miners, as we go, start shouting, spread the word! Your Baron's grip is weakening! Fire! Fire in the pit! Back in the extremely dark town library, you see Magnus, the lady of the city. The voice gets louder and louder every day. Magnus, your hands are filthy with soot. Take them off of me. Magnus looks at his hands. There's no voice, Magnus. The voice is in your head. And he responds, the voice of Grimsby's awful heart. That church outside, built on thin ice, a cracking veneer, barely hides the ancient darkness beneath our feet. He continues on, absolutely petrified. Lights in the forest, voices underground, forgotten, sleeping gods of the sky and the night. Long ago I made a bargain with the voice of the Black Book, Dagmar, for power, knowledge, wealth, and admit it. If you ever loved me once, it was only because I cast a spell on you, Dagmar responded. Perhaps I fell for your wit, your cleverness, and your impressive cheekbones. Perhaps that strutting arrogance you had appealed to me when I was young and vicious. She storms off, before it showed its true face as cruelty. We have more coal than we can burn in 100 years. Our people sacrifice their lives for our voice. And Magnus responds, I have worked tirelessly to sit you on the throne of this country, as queen to king, as queen to my king. While you moon around battlements waiting for the wild man to carry you off to some fairy tale forest, and place eternal demand to drown out all else. And he begins to shout, so where's your Santa now? The pair of you, they'll kill you too, you know that. They call us tyrants, ruthless monsters. Tyrants, she responds. When did we become tyrants? He responds. And the boy, in the end, your choice and mine are the same. Obey the voice or die. She responds. And what else does the voice tell you, Magnus? What will happen when you accomplish this mighty work? He bites back at her. I will be unstoppable, and nothing will. Two guards intervene. Lord Magnus, now what? The mine's on fire. They're recalling the night shift. And we see Klaus overlooking the city. The mine's burning a large cloud in the distance. He holds a letter. Dear Santa, I hope my very special wish will find you. All the other children send wishes up the chimney to your house in the northern lights, but I cannot. Ha! He responds. The next page. Our house has no chimney since it fell upon my dear father's head and killed him outright, leaving mother no money to prepare, let alone fuel. My simple desire, as I comfort mother this freezing winter, is for a small wooden horse to play with, like the one from the Greek myths. I don't suppose kind spirits such as yourselves have much use for Greek myths, so I will return to my lesson and bid you a good night, sir. I pray you will be drawn as moth to a flame by the light of my flame. And we see Klaus approaching his house. And we see Lady Gervig run. No! As guard pursues her and Magnus says, Poisons, my lady! I was brewing poisons, my gift for your Santa. And we see her approach a door. The guard calling out to her. You can't go out there on your own. It's not safe, my lady. They'll tear you apart. She responds. The people can't hate me that much. Don't they remember when? And as she opens the door and walks into the street, remember when? And we see a panel where she gets hit in her face with mud. Say, oh, she says. Her lady, the guard calls. Why those filthy? Another guard responds. And I hope I will not miss you as you pass upon your way. To make up from my chimney, I will leave the door unlatched. Yes, please do not disturb my mother, as the shock could kill her. And we see a figure waiting for Klaus in the home that he's entered. As the guard tells the lady, she falls to her knees, pelted with stuff. I tried to warn her. And as Klaus approaches the figure in the chair, we see that it's Carl, the guard, sergeant. Carl, is it you? Tied to the tree, symbol for joy, pinned to him, his mouth covered. And all the guards, it worked, we have him, as they appear flooding into the room. Carl, and Klaus says, maybe not, as he takes a sword, using the sword, snaps the sword out of the guy's hand. He says, my sword! And another guard, I've got the... And he gets kicked in the gut, close to getting a sword. More guards come rushing at him from upstairs, and Klaus lifts him up and closes him. Next, Klaus pushes over the nearby grandfather clock, walking their way as he makes out a window. We see over the city, and he looks, oh, long way. And he jumps. Down he is, finishing the sentence. And all the guards fire at will. They start firing green arrows with green flame. And they rain down upon him as he runs, jumping the next building down. And he gets hit while falling, crashing through a window. Green flame at him. And he looks up, eyes blackened. Help, please help. Just need help. As he begins to collapse. The woman outside the building. Here, he's here. More guards this way. He's real and he bleeds. As Klaus yanks a arrow out of his shoulder, busting the window, looking down from the roof. And Klaus slides the rooftop, shouting as he goes, creating a masterful ruckus. And finally, rocketing himself off the side of the building and descending in front of the main gates. Using an arrow to stab into the tapestry, getting himself to the ground somewhat safely, if not crashing. Away! Have to get away, he says. One of them, sir? Mr. Wizard, sir, my family's home is nearby. Can we offer you shelter? The young man from earlier says. In another part of town, we see a bunch of guards at some buildings, showing what looks like some of the miners. It's for their own safety, not the children, the woman calls. And those toys are forbidden, says another guard as he takes one from the boy. What's wrong with you people? A guard says, shut for one of the workers. You can't do this to us, says the woman, one of the guards. Blame this Santa character if you want to blame anyone. No child is safe while he's loose, and according to record, 3 of yours. The guard says to this woman. The young boy picking up Klaus, bleeding, a little bit broken, dazed, confused, and having a rough night. Won't make it. Have to slow poison. Can't do it alone. Need roots. Star-shaped flower. Ugh, boy. Oh no, no. His mother calling. Don't let them take the children, Gunner. Do something. As the guards begin taking the children. Do something, she shouts. The boy from down the alley can see this. Have to reach the forest. Klaus says, stop. Dark. In the forest, we see Klaus's wolf, Lily, looking very concerned. She growls as Klaus and the boy approach. Sir, there's a wolf, the boy says. A white wolf. I think we're done for. Klaus, trying hard. No. Lily, friend, what's with us, girl? And she whines. We can see Magnus and Lady Gerbeck. What have you done, Magnus? Where are you going? As Magnus suits up, the young boy, grunting and groaning, pulls a sleigh with something on it. Why couldn't you be just a little lighter or smaller? As he pulled the sleigh with Klaus on, looking over his shoulder. How am I supposed to? He sees the wolf, Lily. Maybe if we share the load, he says as he ties the wolf up. Everything dark. Hurry. Into dark. Klaus stammers. Into dark. Go. We hear shouting. We hear someone say, he's sick, dying by now. He won't get far. Shouldn't you be safe in the castle preparing for the king's visit, my lord? Says one of the guards. Magnus, you have an opinion? Just surprised to see you take such a personal interest. Magnus said, on the contrary, I'm finally taking the big problems off my list one by one. And he snarls, I wouldn't miss tonight for all the world. Now, shall we proceed in the inevitable conclusion? Awesome cover. I believe this is it. This should be our last chapter. All right, here we go. Chapter 6. So, we see a group of men with extremely large shields, for some reason, on horseback, overlooking the city. Down below, we can see a bunch of soldiers with flags, and in the distance, Gersbeck, the large city. And we can hear from the city, must we go? And young Jonas says, he doesn't count, that was just me. He says, why would we leave before the king gets here? I've never met a king, and what about a special Yuletide feast? Jonas' mother puts a red hat on it, a Santa hat, if you will. We're not supposed to leave the castle, he says. Where are we going? And she says, somewhere far away, somewhere that's nothing like here. Somewhere better. Okay, now, Jonas, before the dawn watch wraps. Jonas' mother, are you sure we're not mad? And I love things like these. So we can see in the first panel, the young boy with Lily pulling Klaus. Why would anyone want to leave this place? as they get closer. This is your home? As they're at the door. I'd much rather live here than anywhere in Grimsby. Even the castle. As they go in, we see this beautiful green pillaring. Sorry about that. And Klaus says, won't live much longer unless medicine. The boy, wow, I knew you were a wizard. Looking at all the bottles and containers full of different herbs and vegetables and vegetation and everything else. And we can see again from outside a beautiful tree. It wasn't magic. It was you. You saved my life, Finn Mickelson. Closest boy. He soups some more. I still say you're a wizard, and I only speak to you so that you can save Grimsby. My dad's scared of a monster that lives in the hole under the town. Do you believe in monsters? Close, get a bit more. I've seen spirits out on the swim northern lights, the merry dancers, or in the sky. Some nights you can see them shining among the trees. I expect there are bad spirits too in the dark, in the hearts of men. He has another little sip. Fetch me some more water for the infusion, boy. It should be about boiled now. And find out where Lily went. If you're just tuning in, I'm reading Klaus by Grant Morrison, art by Dan Mora. I do hope it all loads properly for you and that you enjoy. Have happy holidays. All right, where were we? So the young man goes out of the cabin and he sees the wolf growling at something. Lily, what is it, girl? And we see what Lily is looking at. And in the forest, you can see all the spirits, the wisps, coming and making their presence known. Oh, the boy says, just like he said, spirits of the forest. And we see Lily growling, bearing her teeth down. Lily, what's wrong? What are they? And suddenly she's shot, arrow in her back, and another as she puddles on towards the house, boy shouting, no! Run! Run, Lily, run! And as we can see, Magnus's contingent of guards appear over the hill. Run as far and as fast as your little legs will carry you, he says. We all run out of breath in the end. Run! Another arrow sinking into the ground near the wolf. Its confusion as for why it's been shot. Another guard knocking the flaming green arrow and releasing. The boy, no, please don't do this, Mr. Wizard. Klaus comes out of smoke. What's happening? As he gets hit in the back of the head, all goes dark. Next panel on the top of this page here, we see what looks like a piece of wrapped in cloth. The Yuletime spirit, a hammer hitting it. Mysterious scent. See Klaus's cabin burning. Another stake in the ground, or in the ice perhaps. You see inside, various Klauses are burning out. It was you all along, our long-lost Captain Klaus. Our firebrand revolutionary. If only you'd foreseen the wheel. If only you'd foreseen this turn of the wheel, old man. He's triumphant, standing with the burning log behind him. And as we can see, Magnus and his guards have nailed down close to the ice. All of his limbs tied separately apart by rope nailed through, and additional ones around his waist. Magnus standing over him. Back home in the wilderness where you belong, where it all began, as if all your life meant no more than a dream. Looking over close, we can see Klaus trying to fight the restraints. The wolf will be shot and stopped. The miners will work until they fall, and I will keep my appointment with the crown. Magnus says, the guard nearby. This could weaken the ice, my lord Magnus. Best get back to shore. Magnus bends down to look at Klaus. You thought you could stagger from the wilderness, stinking of wrong. You steal my wife, my my son, and enfeeble my son. You honestly believe you could turn my people against me? You, filthy outcast who fled. Magnus stands back up. Your boy there will feed my dark accomplice. As for your own spirit allies, medicine man, I trust they'll keep you warm and cozy. The boy from the cart as he takes off. No! He only tried to help! No! As they disappear off in the distance. Klaus's cabin burning. Back towards the city, we see people approaching the main gate. Last light's fading. The king will be here soon. It looks like they're taking the boy into a prison. All undesirables are being rounded up. As for you, boy, you get to join the rest of the brats in the larder. As the guards take the child, you can see them shove him into some sort of large room. You have some catching up to do, but if I was you, I'd work fast. And we can see this room of children here, all looks like they're eating snacks, treats, candy. The young boy, Jan, Elinda, Finn. Look, it's the best meal time ever. How amazing is this? I shout on candy. Young Finn. No, this isn't. It's not amazing. Since when did the Baron hand out free stuff? Don't you see what he's doing? He's fattening us up like decent Yule time. All the kids eating. Isn't that good? I mean, I like candy. We can see back now the miners with the guards behind them. More effort. This has to be done tonight. One of the miners, more effort. I can't go. Ugh. And he falls to his knees, falling, collapsing. His compatriot coming over. More effort. This man just died. The guard behind him. What's it to you? You want to be next to Gunnar Mikkelsen? And the guard kicks him in the back. Put your cowardly back into it. Dig! And we see Gunnarsson. More, you've taken our children, our bodies, and he slams the pickaxe into the ground, our lives. And he continues to smash through until he hears a crack. We've given everything. And with one last swing, the rock cracks open in front of him. What do we get? He asks. And from the crack, we can see an eye looking down on him. Hungry. It says something they can't comprehend. Mikkelsen looks on at what he's done, freeing this thing. Free from rocks, free from bugs. Where are they? Where are they hiding? As this thing crawls out from the crack. Where are the children? And we can see the ground, everything shakes. The guards run from the elevator of the mine. This thing comes out sniffing. Mikkelsen's there. He's behind a cart. Bent, animal-like legs come by. He can smell them. Up above, the children continue to snack. And the young boy, we have to find a way out of here. What would Santa do, he says. Elsewhere in the castle, I'll let this load because it's really nice. There we go. We see the contingent of royalty coming through. Baron Magnus of Grimsvig, your people live in squalor while you luxuriate in splendor. Your laws are inhuman and arbitrary. Some sense. Oh my god, I love this guy already. Before I point off at Magnus, we come to arrest you, or to make war if you resist. Stand up in the presence of your king, you dog. Surrender yourself. Magnus on the throne, holding a drink. A painful black condition confines me to my chair, Baron Bjorn. But here I am, unarmed, while you march into my hall with legions. My people starve to provide a feast fit for our king and his noble lord. As we see this gigantic table made up, beautifully with insane amounts of food. You've all traveled a very long way. Wouldn't you prefer to eat before it all turns nasty? I promise a genuinely unforgettable Yuletide celebration. And the lords look around. Enough, Lord Morrison. We know why you've come. Or you know why you've come. Reports of cruelty, black magic, exorbitant taxes. One of them looks over. Magnus, looking crazier than ever. I wouldn't pay any attention to gossip. Everyone's here now, just as I planned. My wife, my son, the guards. We caught them a mile from here, from the castle, sir. And Magnus, far back up, you can see him on the throne, I suspect. We want to miss the most wonderful night of the year, or the arrival of our guest, judging by all the screams outside. He's on his way now. Magnus stands holding his glass. Midwinter is upon us. I insist you join me in a toast to the power of the ancient dark, because tonight, as the doors burst open, guards looking on, they've come to take charge and sit me on the throne. And you can see a great beast in front of the doorway, gigantic horns sticking from his head. We're looking at crowds of people, Magnus, celebrating. Raise your cups to the new spirit Yuletime. On your knees, noble lords, or die where you stand. And we see this thing, this creature, as it walks holding what looks like a club, but on further inspection, you will see it is a burning man, and he's held by the ankle. It calls. And we see one of the lords. He's raised a demon from hell. Magnus, what have you done? And the beast swings the man's corpse, burning. Children. He spits flames and begins to look at people. Children. And Jonas, being held by his mother. Mother, why is it looking at me that way? Elsewhere, we see in the cold, snow on the ice, Klaus stuck to the ground. Lily, arrows sticking out of her, looking in as wolves approach. Don't be scared. So remember? Klaus says. And Lily begins to sing, howl as best she can the tune that he would sing or play on his flute. And the music, bursting into color, floats into the air. And we can see that color begin to emanate into the world, swirling around the walls as they come. And they all begin to shrink, and they begin to get afraid. You can see it in their posture. Play, we see words appear. Play. In play, our young are make hurt. Now must make better. We see all the forest spirits coming from the sky to help Klaus. And we can see his heart go from human heart to sort of a shriveled thing of ice. And these beasts, these spirits, come, and Lily leans over his chest. And with a great gasp, Klaus takes a breath. And he looks, and he's in almost another dimension. He looks on, seeing five shapes. Fourth dimensional cubes, prisms, diamonds, things he doesn't know, things he doesn't understand. He looks on, Lily equally bewildered. And these three beings, crystalline creatures, come up, make better. One of them holding a rock with an X carved into it, or what we would call an X. The one in the middle holding a rock with the symbol for joy, as we know it, carved in, and another holding a symbol almost like a Z, where the axis is totally straight. They place the symbols on Klaus's body. Make better, they say. And as they place them, Klaus begins to shout and fade into nothing. This, I believe, is the last chapter, chapter 7. If you're just cutting in, if you're watching now, cutting in, Now we're in the future. We are reading Klaus by Grant Morrison, art by Dan Mora, published by, I believe, oh, it's Boom. Apologies, by Boom. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorite comics, period. And then it's also one of my favorite Christmas books. Don't mind me. All right, here we go. I believe this is it, the last chapter. So, in the castle, we see an amazingly stocked kitchen. It looks incredible. And a large vent. And from that vent, we see a boy's face. I made it! By the sound of things, there's a war going on in the castle. And we can see the young lad that was helping Klaus clear. Well, there's an earthquake down there. Hurry! Your turn, Jan. And Jan says, the Santa will save us, Finn. Won't he? As he climbs into this vent. The Santa's dead, says Finn. He was only a man. We have to do this ourselves. And his younger sister, how can he be dead if there's no good spirit? Who's going to stop the bad one? Back in the dining hall, the great beast, horns sticking out, its tongue just as long as the horns. Children, bad children, first spur. Lady Grimsvig, run, Jones, she says, as it takes a big swipe with the sack, smashing her face. You see, sweet, so tender. Here's one. And Jonas screaming, Mother! Father! Magnus looks on. No, this wasn't what we agreed. Not my son. The beast. They're mine. Hungry, I said. Magnus, I summoned you to do my bidding. My black book commands you. Magnus picking up the book. No, this is impossible. How can this be? And he looks into his book. Your picture, it was here. It's always been right here. The beast snatching up young Jonas. Command me. Go ahead, command Lord Magnus. And Magnus looking on. All my life I took up arms in your name, did everything in return for power. You said I'd be king. And the beast blasting with flame, destroying the book, looking down on the tiny little Magnus. Now where's the book where I was bound? King, you're a weakling, slave to a voice in your head. I used to break my power is mine and mine alone. Magnus just grunting. Oh, need a drink. Lady Grimsvold getting up. Jonas, run, Marta. She knocks an arrow, shooting the beast in the eye. It drops Jonas and he shouts and takes off, running. To run is fun when there's no escape, says the beast as it looks on, one-eyed, gouts with flames. Jonas running in as he goes. Cut back to another part of the castle. We see the children. We just walked out. This is way too easy. Where is everybody? And from a side view, we see someone running, panting. Somebody must be running this way. And the children collide. Young Jonas into Finn. You stay back. I don't want to catch something. And Finn goes, catch something. And then Magnus looks back. Yes, bad she hears. And the beast chasing all these children. Selfish children, greedy children, swollen sweets and candies. It comes from them. Get into my sack. The children evade. No, it's getting into your sack. But it's me what he wants. He's right. I'm a bad person. Take me and spare them, young Magnus said, or young Greek says. The beast, as Jonas says, take going into the sack. Dumb goes next, the beast says. The children looking on in horror. And then suddenly, someone crashes into the back of the beast, driving a pickaxe into it. That'll be me, my monster. Gunnar Mikkelson's my name, and I've had enough. With his father. Run for your lives, children, he said, hanging on the pickaxe as the beast moves forward. Wow, who's this guy? Is that the Santa? Finn looking on. No, that's Dad. That's our dad. As they make a break for it, running out into the courtyard, all the parents looking on in horror and gladness to see them. The beast turns, smacking Gunnar off of him, sending him into a wall. The church bells begin to play. Children, I'm fine. We can run. Finn asking, what about the little kid? More church bells playing. What about Jonas? Forget him. Don't stop. The beast standing tall. Run forever. It's too late. Nothing can save you from me, as they run in terror. And we get one of my favorite splash pages because it's the coolest thing ever. Klaus calling from on high. We may have to dispute the one, he says, from a sleigh of celestial light and shape from dimensions beyond, pulled by no reindeer, but count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gorgeous white wolves, and of course Lily, his faithful dog by his side. Oh, really? I love this about it. What's this? The beast says, holding the sack with young Magnus in it, or young Jonas in it, as Klaus touches down, shooting light from the sleigh off. It hits the beast in the face, sending him flying. Klaus leaping from the sleigh, two blades in hand, as the wolf bites into the creature's wrist. It goats flames. The children looking on. It's him, the Euler niece. I knew he couldn't be killed. The lady of the city looking on. Jonas, what happened to Jonas, my son? These people suffered at your family's hands. If you know what's good for you, lady, you're not safe up here, he says, trying to warn as this carnage goes on. We see Lily holding the creature's arm, biting into it. It cries out, missing its arm now. Close standing on its chest, driving blades in. Open your eyes, monster. Face the end, he says, as he gets prepared to stab the beast in the face. Suddenly, from behind, a sword rips through his chest. For the man who has everything, Magnus says, I give you Baron Ulrich's sword. Say thank you. Just to make sure. Yeah, good. And die when I tell you to, Magnus, drawing the blade back out of Klaus as he lurches forward. Lily charging on towards presumably Magnus, and the beast smashes the wolf down. We can see Magnus stepping towards the beast, holding the blade in his hand. I saved your life. It's time to pay up. Time to deliver on your promises. And he points, I want my kingdom. I want my crown. I want my people to love me. The beast looking up its arm, missing, flames gouting through his face, chains suddenly appearing. Magnus standing in front of this beast. I want my wife and son to love me. Magnus, his wife says. All this hope that surrounds you. See what you've done? Magnus reflecting. I sacrificed everything for you. I'll be king and you'll be queen, our son a prince. And I thought it was the voice, but I did it all myself. She retorts, you murdered my father. You hunted Klaus to his death. You surrendered to a monster, Magnus. It's over. We're finished, she says, walking off. You owe me, he shouts to the beast as it growls up to him, making him look insignificant as ever. I want what I deserve, he says. And he gets it as it belches flame onto him, burning to cinder. The crowd looking on. Dead! The Baron's done! Praise the monster! Burn the rest! Where's the boy? Magnus, of course. We see the sack on the ground and someone takes it in front. Presumably Magnus. Jonas. The boy, the beast turns. The boy's mine. And a chain comes and grabs him by the ankle. He falls. No, help me! We see his mother grunting, picking up the blade. Magnus, what's left of him, standing there charred. Save him, someone. And she lifts the blade. You leave him alone. Magnus again. Save my son. She picks up the blade. I'll kill you. Klaus appearing from the dust, the ash. Dagmar, let me do this. Klaus, I saw him run you through. Something happened to me out on the ice. The shining highlight brought me to a house behind the northern lights. I can't be killed now. I'm still not sure what that really means. We'll see, he says, taking the sword from Dagmar. The beast dragging the boy by the chains now. Reveal all you like what's here. A bright machine from the eight-cornered orb, forged of rare spot metals by the hated elders of mankind. He begins to touch it and seems to fragment weirdly. Untouched in its mind, like so. First, I'll fly beyond the Boreas. The shining people who chain me in a rock will die on hooks among the stars. Then over the whole wide world I'll ride, hunting children. And this once beautiful crystalline sleigh of colors warps into some jagged, black, dark thing. These beautiful white dogs now try wicked things of darkness. From the crowd, people talk. It took my husband. It has my son. The lady of the city. Klaus, Lily and Carl will protect you from the mob. They smell change. They smell change in the air like smoke. Klaus is looking onto the beast. What's smoke? Well, it doesn't always mean fire. The beast has Jonas over its shoulder and takes off. I'll bring you to the burning ground. Beast, you, your father asked you his image. Young Jonas. I know I was bad. I know I was spoiled and greedy. I know that, but Santa only brings toys to good children, and the Santa made this for me. Meaning to hope that he's a good kid. From the ground, Lilith guard the lady. Like father, like son, deserves what he gets. The crowd says. No, this is Yule time. Everybody holds off for the Santa, says young man. There is no Santa. Yule night belongs to fear, all darkness, and forever. All bad children belong to me, says the beast. We see young Jonas crying in fear. From up on the battlements, running towards the beast. I say this, Klaus says, the beast grabbing chains, taking off the dogs, creatures barking. Lady Gerstwald praying. Klaus leaps towards the sleigh as it takes off. There are no bad children. And he grabs onto the rail. Children, the beast shouts. They're asking for it. They need it. As the sleigh takes. They must be punished. It says driving on. Punished? Let me judge the terrible sins this child's committed, Klaus says, drawing the blade. And name just one that's worthy of a demon's wrath. This boy told lies. There was pride and greed, ingratitude, and you'll burn as easily as the rest. Klaus holding his blade as this beast drives the sleigh. Oh, such wickedness. I'll give you this beast. You've made me want to laugh for the first time in too many years. And it chokes on sounds and gurgles and shouts. Do you know what else is funny? Up here, your fires don't burn, he says, as they're up in the atmosphere. And with a great swing of the blade of the king, he, he separates its head from his shoulders. It falls, its corpse falling with it. Jonas, he shouts as the boy falls as well. Reach out, boy, I'm here. And Jonas reaches out, the flaming corpse of this creature falling to the ground. Conveniently, going through the steep of the church and burying itself deep where the snow once was. Jonas' mother on and landing in spaceship-like fashion, the crystalline sleigh of Klaus with young Jonas. Milady, I searched and I searched for the perfect gift. Then I saw this boy and thought of you. Jonas, seeing his mother, gets out of the sleigh. Mother, Mary Yule, Klaus says, shall we make the celebrations official? With a tree lights. And Klaus flies off, gets a massive tree using the sleigh and tows it into town. Helps erect it, fill it with all sorts of gifts. And Lady Griswold, with Klaus as my advisor, I vow to make amends for my late husband's darkness deeds. The Lord Magnus was under an evil spell, Your Majesty. Things will change in Grimsby. They look on, Milady, you will attend to your progress with great interest. Now, as regards this epic feast your husband promised, and we read Once Upon a Time, and we have the most gorgeous display of Christmas goodness. We see Klaus and Lady, and just to start it again, Once Upon a Time, and it plays. We see dancing and joy. There was a man. More dancing, more joy, children playing, adults relaxing. His name was Klaus, which means victory of the people. And once upon a time, we all lived happily. But the time is always now, and now outlives each one of us. As they age through the days, Klaus getting more and more gray, Gervig equally getting more gray, but faster than me. I think my dancing days are done, dear Klaus. What a life it's been. Please promise me you won't dance on alone. And sometime later, attending over the grave of the lady, the city is there, close under a tree in the distance. He packs his sled afterward. You're leaving us, Father Klaus. A young man approaches. The children will miss your toils and adventures. We all will. My mother, Lady Dagmar, she wanted you to have us. Young man, Jonas hands it a bird. Close in his sleigh. We'll be back, Lily and I, once every year with gifts for the children. I promise. We won't forget. We'll see you once that new time. You can fly in the air. You walk the gods. There are 364 more days than your father. Where will you go? What will you do? Klaus looking on, taking the reins of the sleigh. It's a big world, and the sky goes on forever, Lord Jonas. I'll just have to use my imagination. Watch for me when the nights are long and the days grow cold. When there's need of a light in the darkness, he says as he takes off in the sleigh. And that is the end of Klaus. I appreciate this is a long stream. For those of you who popped in, popped out, I hope you enjoyed. It is absolutely one of my favorite books. It is a cool origin story to Santa, nonetheless. I also like that it gives a reason for the red and white, because the actual reasoning is not as cool and it's far more capitalistic. So I think this one's cool. I like this. I will leave you with one last story. If you are somewhere watching this in the future, if you're watching this on Christmas Day for whatever reason, or any other day for that matter, here's what I'll leave you with. My favorite Christmas story, because it's a real Christmas story. A long time ago, in another city in the States, they were doing a thing. A local store, Sears, Sellers, whatever, I don't know, was going to publish a phone number where kids could call in and speak to Santa. And they were going to have people there to say, Merry Christmas. What would you like for Christmas? Make the kids happy. And I think it's a wonderful idea. And I believe it's in like Cincinnati or something. They publish in a local flyer, the mall, the number for Santa. And so a young boy gets the number at home with his mom. He dials the number. And the voice picks up, goes, "Hello, who is this?" And the young boy goes, "Oh, it's Timmy from Cincinnati. I wanted to call to speak with Santa." And the voice on the other line goes, "Who are you? Who is this? How did you get this number?" And the boy, shocked, hands the phone over to his mother. His mother goes, "Hello?" And he goes, "This is John Smith of Mora. How did you get this number?" And the mother explains, "Oh, the number was published in Sears. We're calling to speak to Santa." And he goes, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Put your son back on the phone, please." And she hands the phone over, and the little boy goes, "Hello?" And the guy goes, "Hello, Timmy. I'm so sorry for shouting at you. It's very busy this time of year, and I'm really stressed, but I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year." And they hang up the phone. And that would have been a cool one-off story. And nothing else had to come of that. But why I think it's such a cool story for Christmas time is the Christmas spirit behind it. Because that NORAD operator did not stop there. He got on the line to his managers, whoever, and he goes, "Hey, we're going to need everyone on the phone. So we're going to start getting calls from kids for Santa, and we got to be Santa." So they start arming all these phones, and as kids come and call, they start taking these phone calls, making these kids' ears. And then they go a step further, and John of NORAD, whoever it really was, you look it up, picks up the phone and calls a local radio station and goes, "Hey, this is John Smith of NORAD. We're tracking an unknown flying vehicle coming out of the North Pole at an incredible speed and rate. We're going to keep you up to date with further news." And he hangs up the phone. And throughout the rest of the night, as Christmas Eve went on, he would periodically call the radio station and give them position updates on Santa. And that is why, to this day, NORAD has the Santa tracker that you can watch on TV. It's one of my favorite stories, just like Klaus. So thank you for checking out my extremely long stream. Thanks for checking in. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And if nothing else, celebrate with your family, your loved ones, and however you celebrate, whatever you celebrate, do it with passion, do it with vigor. Good night.